Good morning, everyone. I am beyond delighted to present to you our research paper entitled Teachers' Challenges and Coping Mechanisms in the Implementation of Modular Distance Learning in the New Normal. The proponents of this study are yours truly, Ms. Kathleen M. Casipit and Ms. Kristine May D. Valentin, both Teacher 3 from Rosario Elementary School. Rational. As COVID-19 pandemic affected all aspects of the society, it affected greatly all educational systems in the world wherein the traditional classroom setup was altered instantly. As a result, the Department of Education implemented various policies to advocate the use of alternative modalities in delivering lesson content. One of these alternative modalities implemented was modular distance learning. Modular distance learning is a modality that features individualized instruction that allows learners to use self-learning modules in print or digital format. However, the quick instructional transition carries a wide range of challenges on the readiness of schools, and teachers had to make adjustments on how to ensure that their students have indeed learned or would learn their lessons. Hence, this study aimed to examine the challenges faced by teachers associated with the implementation of modular distance learning modality in terms of instructional delivery and assessment in various schools in the District of Rosario. Furthermore, this will also explore the different self-coping mechanisms adopted by teachers during this crisis. And to gain an understanding of the existing research and debates, key issues on the implementation of distance learning were highlighted in the following key literature. Methodology. The qualitative method of research was used in the study. Purposive sampling technique was employed to obtain the sample. Respondents were composed of elementary teachers from the 8 public schools in the District of Rosario and were selected based on their accessibility, availability, and willingness to participate in the study. The qualitative data gathered were read repeatedly and subjected to thematic data analysis. They were coded, and the superordinate themes were extracted from the coded data. And to present the findings of this study, here's my research partner, Ms. Kristine May D. Valentin.
Based on the findings, 6 distinct teams were formed to describe the challenges faced by teachers in the implementation of modular distance learning modality as revealed from the thematic data analysis. So here are the challenges of teachers in terms of instructional delivery. So we have here number 1, lack of gadgets and internet access for communication. So as we all know, communication plays a big role in the teacher's way of providing feedback to the learners. However, because of certain factors such as internet connectivity, health risks, and lack of gadget, this becomes difficult for the teacher respondents to inform the learners about their performance. Another concern is the inability of parents to facilitate learning at home. So this is actually associated with their lack of knowledge and poor educational background. So as a result, helping the children is not possible for some of the parents, and this has resulted to late submission of outputs. And lastly, we have the parents' and pupils' attitude towards learning. So when a positive attitude is being maintained, there are countless benefits that can impact the ability of the pupils to learn and solve problems. But sad to note that respondents claim for a poor quality of learning due to pupils and parents' attitude. Okay, in terms of assessment, there are 2 identified major factors that affect the quality of assessment revealed by the respondents in the study. So we have here the unreliable assessment results and the students' loss scores. The first one, which is the unreliable assessment results, is that it is because there is a possibility that students would ask any member of the family to answer the items included in the assessment based on the teacher's experiences from last school year, and this causes much worries to the teachers. Another is the students' low scores. So assessment is given through written platforms with the help of the home facilitators, but sad to say that there are still failing scores. That is according to the teachers. So based on these findings, the accuracy of assessment on this modality causes a lot of confusion to teachers since they do not know if their students have really worked and answered the questions independently. Okay, so let's move on to the teacher's coping mechanism. So as teachers face different challenges in the implementation of modular distance learning, they strive to overcome such challenges through different approaches. So based on the results, the teacher in our district have adopted various coping mechanisms on the different challenges that they encounter. So in terms of instructional delivery, number one is the being organized and flexible. So in this new normal, flexibility, adjustments, and considerations are needed based on how a teacher understands or responds and manages an environment. So according to the respondents, the lack of gadgets is given and we have no control over it. They can submit outputs on time, so be it. So what can they do is to give them ample time to finish the activities. Another one is getting support from colleagues. So of course, this is the most common approaches, especially if you are a novice teacher. Support from experts is really necessary. And home visitation. So this is the last resort of teachers, especially if there's no way a teacher can communicate with the parents or the learners. And then being adaptive and innovative. So given the constantly changing demands of our teaching work, adaptability is something teachers require on a regular basis, and likely plays an important role in helping us to navigate the demands of our work. And then we have the preparation of learning materials. And lastly is the utilization of various learning online platforms just to address our students' needs in this time of pandemic. Okay, in terms of assessment, we have the following. So checking the consistency of learners' outputs. We also have assisting learners at risk, of course, development of appropriate assessment tools, conduct of pupils' virtual assessment, and establishing constant communication with pupils and parents. So this time we'll have the implications. So the implication of this research is that the challenges revealed in the study are clear manifestations that not only teachers, not only learners are to be helped during this time of crisis, but teachers too. Although modular distance learning may not entirely new to them, the implementation of this to replace the usual face-to-face method is quite a challenge. Conclusions. The foregoing findings show that teachers face a number of challenges in the implementation of modular distance learning in terms of instructional delivery and assessment. So addressing these challenges will not only help improve teachers' competence, but also enhance success rates of students and the ultimate quality of education in this time of pandemic. So what are the researchers' recommendations? Number one, provision of gadgets or devices to indigent learners must be considered since proper communication is a vital element in distance learning. Necessary resources and relevant training should be provided among teachers to successfully deliver quality instruction under modular learning. Another is, presence of community tutors per barangay may be considered to help parents in assisting their children at home. Coordination with the barangays and other stakeholders must be strengthened to acquire the various materials and resources needed by the learners. And lastly, monitoring of learners shall be put in place through various touchpoints such as text messaging and audio-video calls, whichever is accessible to the learner. And if possible and allowed, face-to-face interaction may be utilized for this purpose. And here are our references. This ends our presentation. Thank you very much.